Hi, my name is Katie, and I'm the judge for the session, and I'm here with.
Yeah,
So today we are covering chapter 9, which was about inspecting and modifying data. So I'm going to give a short summary about what the chapter is about, and then we will dive in it. So sometimes data comes in messy and um hard to work with, full of errors, missing values, or formatting issues. That's the kind of dirty data, and it can break queries and make analysis tricky. So basically, in this chapter, we're gonna use SQL to clean and organize the data. It assesses the quality, learn how to update tables, and keep the database flexible and accurate over time. So moving on, yeah, um, we are going to check for missing values. So here we have our SQL query, and let's just have to check if any rows are missing the state information. So I'm going to put that in the query and then run it. So over here is the query. So basically, I'm going to explain what it does and then run it. So the group by um SD groups all the data by the state, and then the count asterisk s SD counts how many records are in each group for state, and then the order by just sorts the result alphabetically by the state code. Um, so now I'm going to run it, and as you can see, it is in alphabetical order and it sorts the states out. Um, moving on. Sorry, my laptop's slow. Um, Here we are going over checking inconsistent data values. So I'm going to explain what it is. So this part just focuses on spotting inconsistent data, especially in the companies column. So even small spelling formatting differences like Tyson Foods Inc. versus the Tyson Food Incorporated, it can break the analysis by treating the same company as separate entities. So using SQL's group by with count lets us list all the unique variations and see how often each appear. So here we've got our formula, and I'm going to go to the query and explain it from there. So here is the formula. So basically what it does is, so select company count is company count. This just says show me the unique company name and how many times it appears. So company grabs the company's name from each row. The count asterisk, sorry, my mic. The count asterisk counts how many rows exist in each group, and then the company count gives the count a readable label for the output. So let me run it, and then we will see the output. And there is a company with a company count. Moving on. Um, Here we are. Sorry. Here we are checking the malform values using length. So basically, this is just checking for malform values with length. So this part just highlights a common formatting error that occurs when sorry. Let me just get rid of that. Why is my laptop so slow? Um, so basically, the part highlights the common formatting error that occurs when Subcodes are misinterpreted as numbers instead of strings, so leading to the loss of leading zeros. For example, like 07502 becomes 7502. The problem for the US portal data, especially for the Northeast. So basically, we are introduced to the length function, which counts characters into strings, combining the count and the group by in the query. Okay. So here we've got our formula that I will add now, and I will explain. Mm, okay. So basically, this just reveals how many entries are incorrectly shortened, 3 or 4 characters instead of the required 5. And then we refine the query to filter rows with the short subs and group them by the state. So this just pinpoints where the errors are happening, mostly the states with the subs with the zeros. So let's run that as we can see over here. Okay. So here we are modifying tables with auto. Um, so basically, let me get to that part. So here we are going to create a backup table. So here we take the code and we run it in a query. I've already done that. Um, so this just makes a full copy of the table, so we can safely make changes without risking the original data. And then here we've got our select code over here, and this just sorry. This just checks if the backup works, so it compares the numbers of rows with the original versus the backup to confirm they match, and think of it like a spot and clone. So let's test that out right now. Alright, so here we created the table, and here we are checking if the backup works. And as you can see, the original and the backup looks accurate. Um, so now we are going to add a new column to the original table. Okay, so here we've got the code. There's a line of here. So basically what this line does, it adds a new column called the SD copy, and then it tells a copy of the state code, which stands for the SD. And then we use the varchar because the US state codes are 2 letters like New York, California. So let's run that real quick. Let's see where it is. So here I've got it. Probably gonna give me an error, but okay. Okay, there is the error because it already exists. And then also we have the update. So this just duplicates the value from SD columns to the new SD copy. Sorry. And then it's also handy if you want to experiment the updates while keeping the original untouched. Um, and then we can view both of the copies that were made by running the select. So I'm going to run it right now and then see the output. So here we have it. So this just displays both columns side by side and sorts the row by the SD, useful for double checking everything that's copied correctly. So that is about it for chapter 8. Um okay, so there is a section about deleting unnecessary data. So here we are deleting the rows from the table. You enter the table name and then you have to delete the table name and all that. So I'm going to go in it in the code, and then I'll give you a short explanation about what it's about. So, um, yeah, we have a code called, I didn't run this yet. So yeah, we have a code where we want to delete the rows where zip codes are malformed, less than 5 digits basically, and let's just work clear the problematic entries out and keeping the valid one safe. So let's run it and see. So that was a success. And then we have the drop. Did I add the drop? Okay, I did not. Okay, I'm going to add a drop right now. So just going to copy. Should work. So basically, this will complete the remove from the table, including the schema. So only if you want to rebuild it from scratch. Uh, I'm not sure if I want to drop the table yet, but it's good to know. Um, so I'm going to run this to ensure um so this will just confirm that the deleted values are gone. So let me run it. As you can see, they are all gone. Um, and then moving on, we have the, let me see. So this basically just shows the snapshot of the remaining data after we have deleted the other data. And then this will show us the difference before the delete and then after the delete. So I'm going to run this first. Yeah, is before the delete and then after the delete. Okay, so same. But basically, that is how the delete function works, and that is it for chapter 9. Thank you for watching.